First, we want to condemn with the strongest stamp possible the killings of dozens of Kenyans in the streets when they were exercising their obligation under the Constitution to express themselves. That is not what developed countries like Kenya do. They provide security for those who are expressing themselves, and we also observed the presence of goods. The police are required to arrest those who are doing those criminal activities, so we condemn the violence and the killings of more than 10 people in the streets. Secondly, we were also very concerned that Kenya is sliding to become a police state by the government of Kenya closing and switching off the main television and media houses. This is totally unacceptable and draconian and should not be done again. People should have access to all the information of what is happening in the country at all times, and especially at this time. We know that the closing of media houses in 2007 caused us to have almost a civil war. I don't think that that is what we want now. And going forward, let the internet not be touched by anyone, even when they are protest, and all the media houses should have the freedom to access all places and to cover all the events.
Manipulation of the 2027 general elections. Dear brothers and sisters, we are deeply concerned that the government is seemingly creating a framework for manipulation of the 2027 general elections. The blatant decision to disobey a court order and the gazettement of the nominees of the for the chairmanship and the commissioners of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission is a case in point. Did the president deliberately set up the nation so that the High Court can nullify the processes and that the country can restart the recruitment process? Is this a deliberate measure to continue denying Kenyans the right to enjoy the democracy that they have fought for so hard? As citizens of this country, we do have an obligation. We have an obligation to demand that the president withdraws the Gazette notice to allow the court process to be completed so that the country may get a credible IEBC soonest. Another electoral body that is under threat, brothers and sisters, is the Supreme Court of the Republic of Kenya, which is the only organ with powers to review and decide the disputes touching on presidential elections. Are the efforts being driven to remove all Supreme Court judges meant to replace them with cronies of those in power? Is it a thinly veiled attempt to intimidate the judges to the point where they fear making independent decisions? If indeed this was an effort to cleanse the judiciary of corruption, should it be not be a surgery that is only affecting the whole judiciary? Why the Supreme Court? Why touching on the Supreme Court in the absence of IEBC? Kenya is in a state of severe fiscal distress. The situation is so severe that the government is taking away more than 50% of anybody who is salaried. Kenyans, through different taxes and levies, are getting their taxes and levies removed from their salaries. To make matters worse, the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury has proposed a budget in which the government intends to spend 4.29 trillion against the projected revenue collection of 3.3 trillion Kenya shillings. Where will the other trillion shillings come from? Is the government setting up Kenyans for higher taxation and more borrowing. Let us demand that the national and the county governments end the culture of wastage, the culture of corruption, and instead focus on growing cottage industries as drivers for our economy. We must communicate that we are tired. We are tired of living in government-manufactured poverty.
Blocking the live streaming of the protest. What's your take on that?
Okay.
Powerful pastoral letter that we have released to our nation at a time like this.